Welcome back to Live at 9. It's always nice to have a coach in the house for Coach's Corner, right? That's the namesake. But you're moving away from coaching, Alan. How come you decided to kind of hang up the cleats, at least maybe for now?
Blake, it was really a God thing. I didn't think it was going to happen as quick as it did. Totally surprised. One week I'm finishing up my schedule for baseball at MRA, and then all of a sudden the cards began to unfold for the Manchester job.
And is it for you as a coach, and we've asked this to somebody that kind of in your same situation, I'm guessing you're going to have to use a lot of your coaching techniques, but just in a different way?
Most definitely. I mean, I'm coaching a group of people from K2 to 12th graders rather than just coaching boys on the baseball field. So, yeah, I'm still coaching.
Yeah, and what are some of those things when you were coaching, maybe that was unique to you, that you tried to really focus on with the kids?
Main thing is just try to present a culture, a standard for how things are done. Create a atmosphere that everybody has a role and has an important, integral part to that team. Creating that family atmosphere within your team. Really being a servant leader, you know, leading by example and not just by words.
What do you think of the quote when people say that I treat everyone with respect but differently as a coach? As in, some kids can handle hard coaching, some can't. And some you need to pat on the back, and others you need to kick in the rear end. So how do you kind of find that different? Or for you, or were you treating everyone the same and you just kind of morphed into a standard?
I treat everybody as important to me.
Interesting.
I treat everybody as important. Definitely every kid or every person that you are in charge of, you have to lead in a different way. You have to, you know, one of the first questions I ask players in our evaluations and what I'm learning about people at my new school is what is their love language? Find out what motivates them. Because everybody responds in different ways and need to be motivated in different ways, but everybody is important to a program, a school, a team. Everybody, not anybody is more valuable than anybody else.
Do you have a story, and we won't say a name here, but is there any story that you kind of remember from your coaching days, is watching somebody that maybe struggled at the beginning, and by the end of their senior year, their last game, you were like, wow, you think about how far they came, or something maybe happened to them, but they were able to overcome it?
I could name a bunch of players. You know, one of the things that we always talk in our coaching staff is who is going to be the surprise player this year for our team, who is going to come out of the blue. I remember the first state championship I won at Covington High School in Covington, Tennessee. We had a guy that was a second baseman for us, and he played second base every fourth ball game. And he didn't hit, and he was a senior. And he bought into that role, and it raised his level of play because he found value and importance of the team, and the rest of our team, his teammates, knew how valuable he was to our team. And we would not have won the state championship if it wasn't for the second baseman who didn't bat, who played every fourth game.
That's amazing. I mean, you really think about it, because at the end of the day, a kid may not play, but he doesn't realize you need to practice hard so that the guys that are playing get the correct practice. And that may be your importance of this team, and that's why you get a ring too, even though you maybe didn't take that at bat. You were pushing somebody else that got the big hit, and they needed you.
Absolutely. You know, everybody brings value to everybody else.
Absolutely.
In different ways. Some people have bigger roles. They may have a bigger title, but everybody can bring value and impact others around them, no matter if their role is small or whether their role is big.
Alan, thank you so much, and congrats on the new job, and have fun kind of off the field.
Well, thank you so much, Blake. I appreciate it.